We declare the world's resources as a common heritage to all mankind.
How do you go about saying we should declare the Earth's resources, that all the common heritage of all the Earth's people?
Yeah, let's all declare the fucking resources, the common heritage of the Earth. That is what we need to do.
Okay.
All the resources of the Earth need to be for all of us.
All right, cool.
You know, this is one thing that's actually uniting everyone. You know, all over the world, we have all these different cultures, all these different people from around the world.
Same planet.
Yeah, exactly.
The way we
That's
manage
what I started with.
The resources of the world don't belong to a single person. They belong to everyone, animals and plants included.
It's based on sharing. It's not based on competition. No?
Yeah.
It's not me or you. It's going to be us this time.
Exactly.
All right, cool.
More cooperation, cooperative movements, really building it together, and that's what I like.
This should be pretty much a no-brainer. I realize in our competitive, money market-based society, it doesn't seem like it, but we're actually reaching a point now where technology and automation can make extraction and distribution of those resources at almost no cost.
Well, I declare the world's resources as a common heritage of the human race, because it belongs to everybody, all the animals. We could coexist in harmony with technology.
The idea of having individual countries warring against each other as tribes is sort of, I mean, I'd say outdated. I don't know if it was ever really made sense, but you know, the idea of invisible lines in the dirt defining which tribe you belong to so you can keep fighting and warring over scarce resources is something we are going to need to either kick, or it's going to kick us, one or the other.
The way that we use our technology today and how we operate our industry, it's really, obviously it's based on the profit motive. And it doesn't really correspond to human needs. It doesn't correspond to the real resources that we have on the planet at the moment. It doesn't correspond to what's sustainable in the long term. So what we would like to do is really to reorganize that. So take a survey of what we got on the planet as a whole, and then to do a survey on an individual basis. What is it that you would like to get from the world, and then organize the technologies we have today to serve those needs, to meet human needs within the current capacity of the Earth. Because if we don't do that, then we're just fucked.
Okay, so there are no good or bad people. It's all relative based on the environment that you're reared in. And that can be seen, you know, throughout society. You take away a wealthy person's status and money and put them in the street and make them, if they're hungry, they're going to do whatever it takes to survive, you know, and vice versa. You can take a criminal and indoctrinate them into a society where they no longer need to commit crime, and they behave differently. So you behave according to your environment.
Behavior is determined by its consequences.
Basically, almost all the jobs you see in the world that do good, especially large amounts of good for people directly, are almost all volunteer organizations. You know, the Red Cross and the various, you know, humanitarian aid and all that. It's almost all done by volunteers, okay? They get paid no money for it. They volunteer what little time they have outside of having to work their jobs and everything. Whereas some of the highest paid professions in the world are bankers, you know, are salespeople, which, let's face it, and they are at least to some extent exploitative of their fellow human beings. Assassins get paid ridiculous amounts of money to shoot and kill people, okay? So let's face it, if people were really bad, how come some of the highest paying professions in the world are hurting your fellow people, okay? And the professions that pay the least or nothing are helping your fellow person. Well, if people were bad, it'd be the other way around. They'd be hurting people for free, and doing good would require $1 million.
People are born into a situation where they don't have enough, and maybe crime occurs because they need to get food. So no one is really born evil or born a criminal. It's just the circumstances in which they're raised.
Say socially productive and socially counterproductive, rather than good or evil. You know, there are people that are conditioned through their personal life experiences to do things that are socially counterproductive. You know, anything from murder to rape to theft to anything else. And then there are other people that are either able to because they've overcome the hardships of the system, or for whatever reason, they're able to look past that, or are in a position where they don't have to sell themselves out and have the luxury of being able to be what you would call good people, but actually be more socially productive behavior.
So science has proven to be the most effective means of arriving at the best possible decisions for anything.
That everyone can not only survive, but thrive in the world that we currently live in, and everyone will be a lot happier.
Use a system with technology and science to live in harmony and protect the environment.
It's surprising that we haven't really applied that to the social system yet, but I think that this is indeed what happens when we see how effective science is, and then people start to question, why isn't this being applied towards society? We can run things much more efficiently, much more smoother than things have been run for so long. So I think that's indeed what's happening here. We are progressing into that state of mind. We're saying, okay, science seems to be the most effective means of getting the desired result. So let's do it.
Kind of.
Yeah. Beautiful. Peace.